Hello everyone, I am Purnima Nayak, teacher in biology working with BJM1 Bhubaneswar. I welcome you all to this unique live class at G Odisha studio. Looking at the present scenario of COVID-19, which is a respiratory disease, it's a high time to keep an eye on how we breathe and what we breathe. Cover your mouth and nose while going outside or while talking to someone. So today we will be discussing something related to this, that is respiration in living organism. We will begin our discussion with very simple question that often come to our mind. What is respiration? What is respiration? Then what is breathing? Are they similar or different? Let's discuss it. So respiration, it is defined as catabolic, exothermic, oxidative, breakdown of food to release energy, or it is a multi-step enzyme mediated biochemical process that break down organic compound inside living cell to liberate small packets of energy at various steps. In simple word, we can say respiration is a biochemical process to break down food to liberate energy in the presence of oxygen. Now, why respiration is known as catabolic? Catabolic means breakdown of compound. So what is breaking here? Food is breaking to release energy. Then respiration is known as exothermic. Exo means out, thermic means heat. So heat energy is released in this process. Then respiration means oxidative breakdown of food. Means food is broken down in the presence of oxygen. Oxidative means involvement of oxygen. This process takes place inside living cell. That's why respiration is known as cellular respiration. Cellular respiration. Why respiration is known as cellular respiration? Because it takes place inside living cell. This process can be represented as C6H12O6, that is glucose, breakdown in the presence of oxygen, that is 6 molecule of oxygen. As it is the enzyme mediated process, enzymes are involved. Enzymes are biocatalysts that break down to accelerate the rate of chemical reaction, and this form carbon dioxide, 6 molecule of carbon dioxide, water, 6 molecule of water, and release large amount of energy. So here you can see glucose is a respiratory substrate. Glucose is a respiratory substrate. Then what do you mean by respiratory substrate? Respiratory substrate are organic compounds that undergo oxidative breakdown during respiration process. Then in this equation, you can see oxygen and carbon dioxide. They are known as respiratory gases. Respiratory gases. Then what do you mean by respiratory gases? Respiratory gases are those gases which are either being consumed or liberated during respiration process. They are also known as metabolic gases. Okay, and in this reaction you can see carbon dioxide and water, they are the byproduct, or we can say they are the waste product of respiration process. Let's take one example here. in interior places of our country, people depend on burning of wood to cook food. From where do they collect this wood? This is from jungle or forest. They chop down big trunk of tree so that they can burn it easily. And we know that burning always takes place in the presence of oxygen to release heat energy. And this is known as combustion. In the same way, in our body, food is the chemical means to liberate energy. When we eat food, it contains various kind of nutrients, like it contains carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamin, minerals. When we eat rice, rice is our prime food. It contains carbohydrate. During digestion process, this carbohydrate break down into simple absorbable form of food. Simple absorbable form of food, that is glucose. And we know that complete digestion take place in our small intestine. Complete digestion and absorption of food take place in our small intestine. So in our small intestine, carbohydrate break down to form glucose. In the same way, proteins, they break down to form amino acid. And then what about fats? Fats break down in small intestine to form fatty acid and glycerol. Now, this glucose inside our body, it is absorbed in blood. Why do I want my glucose to be absorbed in blood? So that it can reach to each and every part of my body, to my brain, to my hand, to my leg, to my stomach, to my heart, to my every part of my body. And we also know that every part of my body, it is made up of cell. So ultimately, this food, it is going inside cell. Now, this simple absorbable form of food inside my body cell, it break down or it burn in the presence of oxygen to liberate energy. And this is known as respiration. Then, what happens to this energy? Then, what is its role inside our body? Whatever energy formed during respiration process, it is immediately used to synthesize a molecule known as ATP. And the rest of energy is dissipated as heat energy. So, ATP, what do you mean by ATP? ATP, it stands for adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. What is its role? Just like electrical energy of battery can be used for different purposes, in the same way, energy stored in ATP is used to carry out different biological functions like maintenance of protoplasmic structure, conduction of nerve impulses, contraction of muscle cell, cyclosis, membrane permeability, and many more. Therefore, ATP is known as energy currency. Energy currency for most cellular processes. And this ATP, it is formed by adenosine diphosphate, that is ADP, and inorganic phosphate present in our cell. So, adenosine diphosphate plus inorganic phosphate utilize the energy produced during respiration to form ATP. When cell need energy, this ATP breaks down to liberate fixed amount of energy that can drive endothermic reaction taking place inside our body, and the energy equivalent to 30.5 kilojoule per mole is released. So when cell need energy, this ATP breaks down to form ADP plus inorganic phosphate and give fixed amount of energy, that is 30.5 kilojoule per mole. So this is all about respiration and what about the energy produced during respiration. Now we will study about various steps of respiration. Various steps of respiration. In higher organism, respiration consist of 4 steps. What are they? In our body, respiration consists of 4 steps. What are they? First, breathing. First, breathing. Second one, external respiration. Third, internal respiration. Fourth one, cellular respiration. Then what do you mean by breathing? When we put our hand on our chest move up and down. This is due to breathing. So breathing, it is simply the process of taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. It is the part of a respiration. It is the part of a respiration. Or it is the first step of respiration where we take in oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide. It is divided into 2 types. What are they? Inhalation, exhalation. Inhalation, exhalation. Then what do you mean by inhalation? Inhalation means process of taking in oxygen. Exhalation means process of giving out carbon dioxide. Okay, so the second step is external respiration. External respiration is a respiration. It is a process of exchange of respiratory gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen over respiratory surface. In our body, which one is the respiratory surface? It's lung. So, external respiration is the process of exchange of respiratory gases between blood and lung. Then what do you mean by internal respiration? Internal respiration is a process of exchange of respiratory gases at tissue level and their transport to or from respiratory surface. Then what do you mean by cellular respiration? Cellular respiration means breakdown of food inside cell to liberate energy in the presence of oxygen. So in our body, how many steps are there? 4 steps of respiration. What are they? Breathing, external respiration, internal respiration, then cellular respiration. During inhalation, we take in oxygen and this oxygen goes to our lungs through respiratory tract. Then from lungs, it diffuses into blood. Then blood transport this oxygen to each and every part of our body, and each and every part of our body, it is made up of cell. So this oxygen, it goes to our cell. Then inside cell, cellular respiration process take place which produces carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide diffuses out of cell into blood. Then blood transport carbon dioxide to lungs, and then from lungs, carbon dioxide expelled from our body by the help of process known as exhalation. Okay. So, during breathing, we take in oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide. In external respiration, process of exchange of respiratory gases over respiratory surface. Then in internal respiration, exchange of respiratory gases at tissue level and their transport to and from respiratory surface. Then in case of cellular respiration, food breakdown inside living cell in the presence of oxygen to liberate energy. So this is all about various steps of respiration. Now student, we will study about different types of respiration. So now we will study types of respiration. Respiration is divided on the basis of respiratory surface, it's respiratory substrate, and second one on the basis of availability of oxygen. So respiration, it is divided on the basis of respiratory substrate into 2 types. What are they? Floating respiration, then protoplasmic respiration. Floating respiration, then protoplasmic respiration. Now, what do you mean by floating respiration? Floating respiration is respiration where respiratory substrate is carbohydrate or fat. It is very common form of respiration. It keeps our cell healthy because no toxic products are formed in this process. Then what do we mean by protoplasmic respiration? Protoplasmic respiration is a respiration where respiratory substrate is protein, and it is very rare form of respiration because it may kill our cell due to the formation of toxic product like ammonia. Then what about respiration on the basis of availability of oxygen? On the basis of availability of oxygen, it is divided again into two types. What are they? Aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. What is aerobic respiration? Respiration which take place in the presence of oxygen. What is anaerobic respiration? Respiration which take place in the absence of oxygen. Okay, so aerobic respiration, the respiration in which organic compound completely break down in the presence of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water. This is called aerobic respiration. For example, most of the multicellular organism like insect, bird, animal, and we human being respire aerobically. Means we respire in the presence of oxygen. So what happened during aerobic respiration? Let's see. Okay, so during aerobic respiration, one molecule of glucose break down into two molecules of pyruvate, and this process is known as glycolysis. This process is known as glycolysis, and it takes place in cytoplasm of cell, and it generates 8 ATP. And this glycolysis process, it is common in both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So what do you mean by glycolysis, student? The process of conversion of glucose into pyruvate in cytoplasm of cell is known as glycolysis. Then this two molecule of pyruvate, it break down or it enter into mitochondria for its oxidation. Then this pyruvate oxidize to give two molecule of acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A. Okay, and this process is known as oxidative decarboxylation. Oxidative decarboxylation, and this process take place in mitochondria of cell, and it generate 6 ATP along with some carbon dioxide gas. Okay, oxidative decarboxylation means oxidation of pyruvate into acetyl coenzyme A in mitochondria of cell. Clear? Then this acetyl coenzyme A undergoes cyclic pathway for further oxidation in matrix of mitochondria to release maximum amount of energy, and this cyclic pathway is known as Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle, and it produces maximum amount of energy, that is 24 ATP. As this process take place in mitochondria, this is also known as mitochondrial cycle, and it generate water and carbon dioxide. It generate water and carbon dioxide as waste product or end product. Clear? So in this reaction we can see one molecule of glucose break down into two molecule of pyruvate, and this process is known as glycolysis. It produces 8 ATP. Then this 2 molecule of pyruvate oxidize to give acetyl coenzyme A, and this process is known as oxidative decarboxylation. Then acetyl coenzyme A further oxidize in the matrix of mitochondria to give maximum amount of energy and produce carbon dioxide and water as end product. Okay, so whatever ATP produced in glycolysis process, oxidative decarboxylation process and in Krebs cycle, when we add it, then we get total 38 ATP. We get total 38 ATP. That means during aerobic respiration, 1 molecule of glucose break down to produce 38 ATP. That means large amount of energy is produced during aerobic respiration. So, aerobic respiration, it takes place in cytoplasm and mitochondria. And mitochondria of cell is known as powerhouse of cell. Why mitochondria is known as powerhouse of cell? Because it helps in cellular respiration and it generates energy in the form of ATP, and when cell need energy, this ATP break down to give a fixed amount of energy which is utilized by cell to perform various biological function, and that's why ATP is known as energy currency for most cellular processes. Now student, we will study about anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration, which is the special case of respiration because it takes place in the absence of oxygen. It takes place in the absence of oxygen. The respiration in which organic compound incompletely break down or incompletely oxidize due to the absence of oxygen is known as aerobic respiration. It gives ethanol and carbon dioxide or lactic acid as end product, and this process takes place only in cytoplasm of cell, and it liberates very less amount of energy, Okay, so anaerobic respiration is the respiration which takes place in the absence of oxygen and where food is incompletely break down due to the absence of oxygen, which produces ethanol and carbon dioxide or lactic acid as end product, and this process takes place in cytoplasm of cell only, not in mitochondria, only in cytoplasm, and it produces very less amount of energy. So certain microbes like yeast and bacteria, they exhibit anaerobic respiration. Then let's see anaerobic respiration in yeast cell. In yeast cell, yeast, it is an unicellular organism. Then what happens in yeast cell? Glucose, in the absence of oxygen in cytoplasm, break down into pyruvate, and this pyruvate in the absence of oxygen in cytoplasm give ethanol plus carbon dioxide and energy. Ethanol plus carbon dioxide and energy. This anaerobic respiration, it is the exclusive mode of respiration in most of the prokaryotic organism, some parasitic worm, mold and several unicellular eukaryotic organism. In microorganism, the term fermentation is most commonly used to represent anaerobic respiration. Then what do you mean by fermentation? The anaerobic breakdown of organic compound or carbohydrate into organic acid, alcohol and carbon dioxide with the help of microbe, that is fermenter, is called fermentation. it plays an important role in brewing industry for the production of alcohol like wine, whiskey, beer, rum and many more. And it also plays an important role in baking industry. Baking industry. So student, it's time to take a break. We will continue from here after this break. Okay?
Welcome back after the break. So we were discussing about
fermentation in baking industry. So fermentation plays an important role in baking industry for making our bread, cake and pastry fluffy and spongy. Let's see the diagram given on the TV screen. What is the role of yeast in baking industry? Let's see. Okay, so here you can see baker add yeast in dough, and this yeast respire anaerobically, reproduce rapidly and respire anaerobically to produce carbon dioxide gas, and this carbon dioxide gas increase the volume of dough, making our bread, cake and pastry fluffy and spongy. So we can say when we add yeast in dough, this yeast reproduces rapidly and respire anaerobically, which produces carbon dioxide gas, and this carbon dioxide gas increase the volume of dough, making our bread fluffy and spongy. So this is anaerobic respiration in microorganism. Then what is the role of anaerobic respiration in human being? In human being, anaerobic respiration take place. Okay, let's take a call. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Ma'am, my name is Abhiksha Priyadarshini Ojha from Gurukul Public School, Chandigarh.
Abhiksha Priyadarshini from Gurukul School.
Public
Okay, from
School, Chandigarh.
Gurukul Public School. Yes, what is your doubt?
Ma'am, my doubt is why in the case of yeast, it respires in the process of anaerobic. Why not aerobic?
Okay, okay, very good question. Yeast, it can also respire aerobically and it can also respire anaerobically. But why they respire anaerobically mostly? Because what happened when they reproduce very fast. And when they reproduce very fast, they need oxygen. So that time what happened? Shortage of oxygen take place. So that's why they have to respire in order to carry out, in order to form food, so that they can release energy for that, and this energy can be used to do various kind of activity. That's why they start respiring anaerobically. I think your doubt is clear. Okay, so we were discussing about anaerobic respiration in human being. In human being, it takes place regularly in red blood cell and in muscle cell. In red blood cell, a pigment known as hemoglobin, it imparts red color to blood. It has for oxygen. It carry oxygen and transport it to different part of our body. Okay, let's take another call. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Ashish Sahu.
Ashish Sahu. You are from which school, Ashish?
From OAVS, Seragad, Ganjam.
Oh, OAVS, Seragad, Ganjam. Okay, what is your doubt?
And my question is, what are the different ways in which glucose is oxidized to provide energy in various organisms?
Okay, so what are the different ways in which glucose break down to provide energy? That only we were discussing right now. Okay, so glucose, okay, it break down in the absence of oxygen and in the presence of oxygen. Glucose in the presence of oxygen, it get converted into carbon dioxide and water and produces large amount of energy, as we have discussed in aerobic respiration. And this glucose in the absence of oxygen, it incompletely break down to form carbon dioxide, ethanol, and produces very less amount of energy in case of microorganism. And when we talk about muscle cell, after heavy exercise, this glucose incompletely break down in cytoplasm to form lactic acid and produces very small amount of energy, and this one we will discuss right now. Okay, so we were discussing about human being in anaerobic respiration in red blood cell. So in red blood cell, a pigment called hemoglobin is present. Okay, and this hemoglobin has high affinity for oxygen, and it transport oxygen to different part of our body. That's why hemoglobin is known as respiratory pigment. Okay, that's why hemoglobin is known as respiratory pigment. Then why RBC respire anaerobically? What is the reason? Because of the absence of mitochondria. Clear? Okay, now we will see anaerobic respiration in muscle cell. In muscle cell after heavy exercise. So after heavy exercise, during sudden activity, glucose in muscle cell due to lack of oxygen in cytoplasm get converted into pyruvate, and this pyruvate in cytoplasm in the absence of oxygen or due to lack of oxygen get converted into lactic acid and produces very small amount of energy. Many times in examination question is asked, why are cramp caused in our muscle cell? What is the reason? Because of the formation and accumulation of lactic acid in our muscle cell as lesser oxygen availability than required by muscle cell. Okay, let's take another call. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Ansan Gohan. I am from Dhenkanal.
Okay, what's your name? Okay, what's your doubt? Tell me.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of pyruvate?
What is the meaning of pyruvate? Okay, so pyruvate, glucose, it is a carbohydrate. Okay, it is the 6 carbon compound. That means when we look at its formula, C6H12O6. Okay, so here total number of carbon is 6, and this glucose during glycolysis process, okay, both in aerobic and anaerobic, break down into a pyruvate, and this pyruvate, it is 3 carbon compound and its formula is C3H4O3. I think your doubt is clear. Okay, let's take another call. What's your name?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Actually, it's good afternoon. Okay, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, I am Ashutosh Mishra of KV number 1 Bhubaneswar.
Yes, Ashutosh, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, can you please explain what do you mean by floating respiration?
Okay, floating respiration. Floating respiration, it is a type of respiration on the basis of respiratory substrate. Respiration is divided into floating and protoplasmic respiration. Floating respiration is a respiration where respiratory substrate is glucose or fat. It is very common form of respiration. It keep our cell healthy because no toxic product are formed. So floating respiration is a respiration where respiratory substrate is carbohydrate. I think your doubt is clear. Okay, then let me tell you about protoplasmic also. Protoplasmic, in case of protoplasmic, respiratory substrate is protein. Okay, in floating, the respiratory substrate is carbohydrate. I think your doubt is clear. Okay, so we were discussing about respiration in muscle cell. So I asked one question, why are cramp caused in muscle cell during sudden activity or heavy exercise? During sudden activity or heavy exercise, due to the formation of and accumulation of lactic acid as a result of lack of oxygen in muscle cell, lactic acid get formed and accumulated, and this cause cramp in our body. That time what happened? Oxygen availability get decrease in our muscle cell and its supply also decrease, but demand for oxygen get increase, and this create anaerobic condition in muscle cell. So muscle cell start respiring anaerobically and it form lactic acid, and its accumulation causes muscular cramp. Okay, let's take another call. Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Ma'am, I am Tanisha Pradhan from DAV Public School, Baleshwar.
Okay, Tanisha Pradhan from DAV Public School, Baleshwar. Okay, Tanisha, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, ADP and ATP both produce energy, but
Yes.
why only ATP is known as the energy currency and not the ADP?
Okay, so listen, what happened? Whatever the energy formed during respiration process, this energy along with ADP, ADP means adenosine diphosphate, combined with inorganic phosphate to form ATP. So more powerful is who? ADP or ATP? Obviously it's ATP. ADP takes energy, consume the energy whatever produced during respiration process along with inorganic phosphate, it form ATP, and this ATP break down to produce fixed amount of energy, that is 30.5 kilojoule per mole, that can drive the endothermic reaction taking place inside the cell. And this energy there, this ATP, therefore it is known as energy currency for most cellular processes. I think your doubt is clear. So we were discussing about anaerobic respiration in muscle cell. Okay, so let's see the diagram given on the TV screen, which shows the breakdown of glucose by various pathways. So different organisms, they respire by different way. Some use oxygen to break down completely into carbon dioxide, water, and some use other pathway that don't involve oxygen. Okay, so in this diagram you can see glucose in the presence of oxygen or in the absence of oxygen in cytoplasm, it breaks down into pyruvate, and this pyruvate in the presence of oxygen in mitochondria give rise to carbon dioxide, water and energy, and pyruvate in the absence of oxygen in microorganism, it gives ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy, and this is the basis of fermentation process. Okay, another pathway is pyruvate in our muscle cell. After heavy exercise, due to lack of oxygen, it forms lactic acid and energy, and the formation and accumulation of lactic acid result in muscular cramp in our body. Okay, so now student, we will discuss about respiration in living organism. Respiration in living organism. Have you ever thought, do plant respire? Yes, plant do respire. They don't have specialized organ like us. They also use oxygen for respiration. They give out carbon dioxide, but they don't have a respiratory organ like us. But they have stomata and lenticelle for this purpose. They have stomata and lenticelles for this purpose. Then what do you mean by stomata? They are tiny pore present in the surface of leaves and in green stem. What about lenticelle? In older root and stem, surface tissue are impermeable to gases. They have large open pore called lenticelle which help in gaseous exchange. Then what about young root? How do they respire? They respire by the help of root hair. In plant, they don't have a special means for transporting gases. Gases exchange take place entirely in their body by the help of diffusion process. Diffusion process. What do you mean by diffusion? Diffusion, it is the process of movement of substances from high concentration region to low concentration region. Clear? Okay. In plant, the large interconnected intercellular spaces, ensure that all cells are in direct contact with environment so that exchange of gases take place. Okay. So in plant, they respire by the help of stomata, in green leaves and green stem, in lenticelle with the help of lenticelle, in older root and older stem, woody stem, and with the help of root hair in young root, and intercellular spaces ensure that all cells are in direct contact with environment. Okay. Now we will study about what do you mean by photosynthesis? What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis. Okay, let's take another call. Hello?
Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Kalpana So from DGHS, Florida.
Okay, Kalpana, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, my doubt is what is lenticelle?
What is lenticelle? Yes, in woody stem and in older root, large permanent pore, they are known as lenticelle and they are used for gaseous exchange. Large permanent pore which is used for gaseous exchange in woody stem and in older root is known as lenticel. I think your doubt is clear. Okay, so we were discussing about photosynthesis. 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 What do you mean by photosynthesis? Green plant prepare their own food by using raw material like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. This process is known as photosynthesis. Okay, let's take another call. Hello? Hello? Okay, so we were discussing about photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process in which green plant prepare their own food by using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Okay, so during daytime, plant take only carbon dioxide gas and give out oxygen. The rate of photosynthesis during daytime is higher than the rate of respiration. Thus, oxygen release is the major event during daytime. Then what about night time? At night time there is no sunlight, so there is no photosynthesis process. Only process that take place during night time is respiration, where plant take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide gas. Thus, carbon dioxide release is the only major event that take place during night time. And this is the reason why we should not go near plant or why we should not sleep under tree, because it causes suffocation due to the release of carbon dioxide gas or due to the shortage or absence of oxygen gas. Okay, so during night time we should not go near plant or we should not sleep under tree because it causes suffocation due to the shortage of oxygen. So what are the differences between photosynthesis and respiration? Photosynthesis, it is the anabolic process. Respiration, it is catabolic process. Anabolic means formation. So what is forming in photosynthesis process? Food is forming. Okay, let's take another call. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, what's your name?
Pratibha Das.
What?
Pratibha Das.
Okay, Pratibha, what's your doubt?
What is diffusion?
What is diffusion? Okay, diffusion means exchange of gases or movement of gases or other substances from high concentration region to low concentration region. I think your doubt is clear. Okay, so we were discussing about photosynthesis, which is anabolic process, respiration, which is catabolic process. Anabolic means formation of food. Catabolic means breakdown of food to liberate energy. Then in photosynthesis process, plant use solar energy, it get converted into chemical energy. Then what about respiration? Respiration liberate chemical energy and it is used as it is or it get converted into other form of energy. And photosynthesis process, it take place during daytime. But respiration process, it take place only both in day and night time, all time you can say, day and night. Photosynthesis process take place only in green cell which contain chlorophyll pigment, but respiration process take place in all cells. Okay, then in photosynthesis process, what are the raw material? Carbon dioxide and water. Then what about respiration? What are the raw material? Glucose and oxygen. What are the end product of photosynthesis? It's oxygen, glucose and water. Then what are the end product of respiration? It's carbon dioxide and water. So this is all about photosynthesis and respiration. Now student, we will study about respiration in animals. Respiration in animals. Before studying about respiration in animals, let's discuss about respiratory surfaces, respiratory organ and their common features. As I have told you earlier, breathing is the process of taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. The surface where exchange of gases take place is known as respiratory surface. Okay, let's take another call. Hello? Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, what's your name?
Ma'am, why respiration is done in all times?
Why respiration take place all time? Okay, why respiration take place all time? Its answer is because our body, let's talk about our body. Our body need energy all the time, and from where this energy comes? It comes from food, and for breaking down of food, what required? Oxygen is required. Okay, when food break down in the presence of oxygen, it liberate energy, and this energy is utilized by our cell to do various activity. So in order to get energy to do various activity, we have to respire all time. So that's why respiration is necessary all the time. But why photosynthesis process take place only daytime? Why it is not taking place in night time? Because photosynthesis only take place during daytime because it use sunlight. Okay, photosynthesis process use sunlight so that it get converted into chemical energy to form food by using raw material like carbon dioxide and water. But in respiration process, what happen? All cell need oxygen to break down food so that energy can be liberated out, and this energy is used by our body to carry out different function. I think your doubt is clear. Okay, another call. Yes?
Ma'am, my question is,
Yes?
ma'am, I am Payal Zahra from DAV Public School, Baleshwar.
Okay, Payal, DAV Public School, Baleshwar. Okay, Payal, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, my question is, ma'am, what is the amount of energy released in the absence of oxygen in the breakdown of glucose by various pathways?
Okay, amount of energy released in the absence of oxygen, very less amount of energy is released, it's 2 ATP. But in case of aerobic respiration, 38 ATP is released. I think your doubt is clear. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, our next question. Our next topic, we were discussing about respiratory surface and respiratory organ. So, respiratory surface is those surface where exchange of gases take place. Okay. Then, the organ which have respiratory surface, that is known as respiratory organ. Respiratory organ. For example, lung in our body, in human beings, gill in fish, trachea in insect, skin in earthworm. Okay. So these are the example of respiratory organ. The respiratory organ of animals have 3 common features. What are they? First one is they should have large surface area. Large surface area for exchange of gases. They should have thin permeable membrane. Thin permeable membrane for quick diffusion and easy exchange of gases. They should have. Okay, another call. Hello.
Hello,
What's your name?
my name is Rajlakshmi Sahu from Jain Nagar.
Okay, Rajlakshmi, what is your doubt?
My doubt is, breathing rate in human is fast.
What? Once again, you repeat the question.
Breathing rate in human is fast. Is there a sufficient time in lungs for oxygen to be absorbed and for the carbon dioxide to be released?
Your doubt is breathing time is faster in human being. Then repeat the question. Yes.
Breathing rate in human is fast.
Yes.
Is there a sufficient time in lungs for oxygen to absorb and for carbon dioxide to be released?
Yes, listen. So that one we will discuss in respiratory system in human being. Then also let me tell you, when we respire, during a normal respiration means inhalation and exhalation, we take in some air and we give out some oxygen. Okay, and during normal condition, that is known as the volume of air we take in and we give out. During normal condition, during rest period, it's 500 ml, and this is what we can say approximately 500 ml, and it is known as tidal volume. Okay, so what happened when we exhale out completely? Okay, some amount of air left in our lung. Okay, some amount of air left in our lung to continue further exchange of gases between lungs and blood, and this is known as residual volume. I think your doubt is clear, and I think you are asking this one. Okay, so let's continue. We were discussing about 3 common features of respiratory organ. First one is large surface area. Animals should have thin permeable membrane and they should have abundant blood supply for transporting respiratory gases. Abundant blood supply. So students, it's time to wind up the session. Go through the textbook. Utilize your time properly. Stay safe, stay home, stay healthy, stay amazing. Have a wonderful day ahead.